Hello guys, welcome to another tutorial. My name is Divine, and if this is your first time here, you are welcome to Styles by Andre. Also, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by once again. So today's tutorial is going to be on how to cut a basic sleeve pattern, and I'll be using two methods for this tutorial. I'll be using the freehand method and the pattern drafting method. So if you work with freehand, this tutorial is definitely for you, and if you work with pattern drafting, then this tutorial is also for you. So I'll be showing us how to take the measurement for our sleeve. Now we're measuring the round bicep and we're folding our arms this way. And you can see one of my finger is inside the tape measure. That is how you get your round bicep. And the next measurement is our round elbow. I'll also be placing one finger inside so it's not too tight. And I'll also be measuring the round wrist. Now for the round wrist, we will not be placing one finger inside. You can give about 2 inches ease or try to pull the tape from the hand. Or we can also fold our palm this way and take the measurement. The only reason why we can make our wrist tight is if we are working with a stretchy fabric. So if we're not working with a stretchy fabric, we can measure the round of our fingers. Now I'll be measuring our bicep length, our elbow length, then our wrist length. That's the sleeve full length or our wrist length. So that is it for today's tutorial. So the first method I'll be working with here is our pattern drafting method. So this particular method is for those that prefer pattern drafting. So I'll be coming down with 1 inch from the top of my paper. That is where my sleeve is starting from, and I'm going to get a straight line. So I'll just be coming in my paper just to get a straight line. I'll mark it all the way. Then the next measurement I'll be getting now is my cap height of 4.25. Now the measurement to get our cap height is our bust divided by 12 plus 1 inch. That is what we calculate to get our cap height. Next is our bicep of 8.5 inches. Our bicep length of 8.5 inches. We'll be marking that also. After which we get our elbow length of 13.5 inches. We're going to draw out a straight line. Then we measure our sleeve full length of 22 inches. We'll also mark that out. So this is what we have. I'll just be labeling the lines. This is our cap height, which is our bust divided by 12 plus 1 inch. This is our bicep, our elbow, and our wrist. Now I'll be marking my chest line measurement of 8 inches on my cap height. 8 inches, and I'll be connecting that 8 inches point to the center of my pattern. I'll do that for the back also. Then I'll place my tape on the straight line I just marked, and we'll be dividing that line into 4 equal points. This is the front, this is the back of my pattern. I'll be dividing this 9 inches now into 2. Like so. Then on the first half, I'll be dividing it again into 2. In the second half, I'll be dividing it again into 2. So that gives us 4 equal points. I'll do that for the back. I'll divide what I have on that line into 2. Then divide the first half into 2 also. Then the second half into 2. Okay, so on my front block now, I'll be going up by 0.5 inches from that first point, and the last point also I'll be coming down by 0.5 inches. Now I'll place my curve and make sure my curve passes through each of these points like so. So from the center front to the 0.5 inches to the midpoint to the 0.5 inches below. So let's carefully. Now your curve does not always have to pass through this at once. So you can do this bit by bit. So you can see from the center of our pattern to the 0.5, then from the 0.5 to the midpoint, then from the midpoint to the second 0.5, then the end of our sleeve there. I'll be doing the same for the back now. I'll be going up by 0.5 inches on the first point there. Then on this last part, I'll also be dividing this last part again into 2. Then on that point, I'll be coming down by 0.25, and I'll be connecting each of the points like so. So for the back pattern, the curve does not necessarily have to pass through the middle. You just need the center of the pattern, the 0.5 and the 0.25 points to connect. So you can place your curve any way to get this shape. Okay, this is it for the back pattern. Now I'll be dividing my bicep measurement of 13.5 inches into 2. I'll be marking 6.75 from both sides. I'll divide 11.5 round elbow measurement into 2 to give me 5.75. Then I'll dividing wrist measurement of 8.5 into 2 to give me 4.2, and I'll be connecting each of the points like so. I'll be using this part of my pattern curve, then the remaining part I'll be using the straight part of my ruler like so. So this is it for our pattern. Now if you want to add sewing allowance, you will have to place your pattern on your fabric first before you add your sewing allowance. You can't add your sewing allowance to your pattern here, or you can add it, but better still, place your pattern on your fabric and add sewing allowance. So please watch carefully how I cut this part of my pattern, so we don't get confused when cutting. So this is it. This is the sleeve from my pattern here. That's the front and the back. Now this, for the second method, I'll be assuming this is my fabric here, and I'll be folding it into 2. So I'll be coming down with 2 inches. That will be the start point for my sleeve. So I won't be using any ruler here because it's a freehand. The first measurement I'll be marking is my bicep measurement of 8.5 inches, then my elbow measurement of 13.5 inches, then my sleeve full length of 22 inches. So I'll use my freehand now to draw out a straight line, or better still, we can still also mark it from the other end so we can get a straight line. You can see in this pattern now, I'm not using my pattern curve, and I'm assuming this paper here is my fabric, so we'll be adding sewing allowance to this. So after getting a straight line now, I'll be labeling each of the line, my bicep, my elbow, and my wrist. The next thing now is to mark out my armhole curve. So for a bust 39, I'll be using an armhole curve of 9 inches. You can see how I'm marking the curve. The curve is not so deep and it's not so high. So just make out your curve like this using your free hand. You don't need any curve for this, and measure it like so till you get 9 inches. Then you add your sewing allowance of ½ inch. So this is how it is, guys. Then on my bicep now, I'll be measuring my round bicep divided by 2, 6.75 plus ½ inch sewing allowance. Then my round elbow measurement of 11.5 divided by 2, that's 5.75 plus ½ inch sewing allowance. So we'll make sure we add our sewing allowance on this because this is serving as our fabric, not our paper. So you can see I'm using my freehand also to join this. So you don't need any cap height calculation, you don't need your ruler, you just need your chalk and your fabric and your measuring tape. So now this is our sleeve here. We'll just be adding our ½ inch sewing allowance on top. half-inch that we'll be using to join to our dress. So we'll carefully add it and connect it back. So this 9 inches armhole curve I used, it depends on the bust size. So whatever your bust size is, you will use it for your armhole curve. If you are using a 10, make sure you get a 10 on the curve. So you can see my fabric is still on fold. Then I'll cut out. So for the freehand method, there is no front or back. How we want to place our sleeve is okay. While for the pattern drafting method, the front part must be at the front and the back part must be at the front. While for the freehand, we can place it anyways. So guys, let me know in the comment section which of this method you prefer, the freehand method or the pattern drafting method, and I'll be glad you did. Also, if you've not subscribed yet to the channel, please click the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you get updated anytime we post a video on this channel. Thank you guys, and bye for now.